Hello. How are you doing? Very good? Hopefully yes. So we talk about the written communication and the verbal communication. Now let's talk about branding in this story. We have moved from the relationship of the marketing era. We move into a relationship era. So the brands must learn to build and maintain relationships with their audiences. And that is the networking that you have been asking about. So the communication and networking are very connected. It's like a dating. And there is many rules in this relationship era that we need to discuss. In this new era of relationship, we don't have more the 4 P's that you have in marketing. We call it the 4 E's. What is the 4 E's? Emotions. You really express emotion, and we have been talking that in the last videos, how to express emotions, how to express happiness, how to express pleasure, how to express that you disagree with something in a way that you can continue the conversation. That's very important. My father was a hero. He fought in a war. He didn't like it at all. But why he was a hero? It wasn't because he fought in a war. It was because the enemies, let's call enemies, the other group who was fighting, they actually were very pleased with his leadership style. Because he was thinking, I don't want to kill people. I don't want to really fight with people. This is not who I am. I'm not a person who goes, it is not who I am. So he started creating strategies of negotiation in a way that there was never a stop of conversation. Listen to me. He never stopped the conversation. So instead fighting and going to a war and people dying, we have this strategic in a way that we never stop talking and finding a solution. And he called that thing the point of no return. It's like when you go into a star, you start jumping in a star, in a escalator, and there is a point that you cannot go back. If you are in an electric escalator, you go like this, there's moments that you can come back, and there's this and you come back, and there's a point that you cannot go back. So one of his techniques is never go to that point. When you feel that you're escalating the angry in a way that you will be in a position that neither you and the other party will stop, neither you and the other party can come back and try to do something good for both, try to find the goodness on those and an agreement that everybody is happy, you need to stop. And you as a mature person, as an intelligent person, as a powerful person, as a person who has empathy, you have to be the person who stops. He received an award for that technique. I learned a lot from that technique. He explained me in a simple language when I was like 5-year-old, and I understood very well. I mean, a 5-year-old can understand, believe me, and I can understand. Through the years I have matured the idea. And I come able to recognize when I have a disagreement in a point that I'm going to the point of no return. And immediately I try to move it forward. So in order to have a benefit for both of them. And I have to understand that it's the smart and the strong person who makes the first step to say, stop it here. We don't want to go to that point that we have to stop talking. Now, these experiences of life are important now in our new relationship era. So emotions is one, the first E. The second is experience. So all your experiences, if you are able to express it in a way that people understand and relate, you can communicate with them. In the same way you look at the eyes and say what you feel, and you look at your eyes and say what you really want and what they want from them. Another thing that we mentioned is the first video is engagement. How you engage people in a conversation, how you engage people in activities, how you engage people in working with you. That is the 3E. And the last one that we mentioned before, you offer something new, different, why you are so special, exclusivity. So emotions, experience, engagement, and exclusivity. With those 3 E's, we enter now to the relationship era. And that relationship era have those rules that will help us to understand better the social networking, to help us to understand better the personal branding. How we branded ourselves is how we talk ourselves and how we write ourselves and how we represent ourselves. So the language spoken and the language written and all the way we move for the unspoken language are important in this relationship era.